video in which I am going to talk about the difference between making a body get into fat as a resource of energy versus sugar or carbohydrates as a source of energy. So let's quickly jump onto what we are going to learn today. So I want to help you out to understand this concept. So first of all, why are we really debating between fat and carbohydrates? Because the current source of energy, if you are a rice eater or a chapati eater, our current source of energy is going to be glycogen. Now what happens is when we eat carbohydrates in a diet, the carbohydrates that we eat goes into the stomach and it goes into the body and gets stored into the body in form of glycogen, and that glycogen further gets utilized in form of energy source for us to do our daily activities. Now that particular glycogen, say for example, if we have one of the days we have overeaten, okay, so that's the second point. What happens when we overeat? Let's imagine that we went to a party and we ended up eating a lot. That is when we overeat. What is going to happen when we overeat? During that time, our body is going to convert the carbohydrates into glycogen. The glycogen is going to get stored in the body. The moment body sees that there is no other physical activity to utilize all that stored glycogen, it is no more going to store that glycogen back into the body. What it is going to do is, it is going to convert that glycogen into fat, and that is the reason why we gain weight. So simple, extra carbohydrate is equal to extra fat. So does that mean that we reduce our carbohydrate content and that's about it? No. The problem with carbohydrate is that the carbohydrate is not right for the body. It actually creates a lot of problems. In fact, so how much energy? Now what happens is when our body gets to burn the energy from fat versus burn the energy from other sources. So we have three different energy sources in our diet. The first is the carbohydrates, second is the proteins, third is fat. So let's compare all of these. So when we take 1 gram carbohydrates, 1 gram carbohydrate will give you 4 calories. 1 gram proteins will also give you 4 calories, wherein 1 gram fat is going to give you 9 calories. That is almost double. So what is going to happen when you are going to make your body get into a source of fat as energy? Your body will start feeling more fuller and it will not get hungry, because the amount of work that the body had to do with 1 spoon of sugar, it is going to get done with the same amount of energy is going to be given to the body with only half a spoon of fat. So almost double the energy that you're going to get. Let's quickly jump and understand why our body stores fat. Now the body stores fat because when we consume carbohydrates in excess, body wants another source as a reserve. So it will start accumulating that in our body, and that reserve is going to be fat, because our body already knows that carbohydrate is not going to be a very lasting source, because it gets depleted very quickly. For example, say you have your breakfast and you forget, you were busy during your entire day, and then you ended up eating a very late dinner. What is going to happen? Your hunger is going to literally peak up, right? Your body will not be able to. In fact, there is also a very high possibility that you will start feeling fainting. Why does that happen? Because the glycogen will get depleted in about a couple of hours. If we talk about how we as humans have evolved, in the past we used to not survive on carbohydrates. Carbohydrates have actually evolved as a commercial product. Since carbohydrates have commercialized as a commercial product, so our body what was the main source of energy for the body? Ancestrally, in fact, if we talk about the evolution of humans used to survive on plants. They used to survive on flesh, animals. So when they used to survive on the nutrition from plants and the nutrition from flesh, but eventually as the life evolved, we got into habits of eating more carbs, and today we are in a condition where we are eating carbs so much so that our body is repeatedly taking carbohydrate, and our body has got into consuming glycogen as the primary source of energy. So when our body is getting into glycogen as primary source, body still needs another source as its main source of energy, which is fat. So it tries to reserve it as the energy source, so that tomorrow, if in case glycogen depletes, we at least have something as a stored reserve. If energy is coming from fat, there is no reason why it wants to store fat anymore.